everybody, it's Alyce-Kay Ruckelshaus from Threshold F and Naney and the Widow Ruckelshaus, and I'm going to work on a very small journal. It was inspired by Pam from the Paper Outlet. I saw a video where she was doing a cover kind of like what I'm going to do, and I'll post that below because not only do I want to give her credit, but I want you to be able to see her video of how she did it as well. So this is going to be the cover. It's just a really small piece of cardboard that I get out of my cat food cans, the box that they come in that separates the different levels of cans. I'm just going to do a small one because in order to do this I am breaking my New Year's resolution that I was only going to work on one book at a time and get it all the way done before I started another. But when I saw what Pam did, I was so inspired, and I know that if I don't start it, I'm going to forget it or just kind of lose interest in it. So if I at least get it started, I can do this one really, really quickly because it's going to be very easy. I'm going to use coffee stain paper for the signature and have things that have to do with book pages, and wherever I know who I learned different things from, like, oh my goodness, these really cute button flowers that Carol Tinson made. Okay, I'm going to use some of these in there because these are made with book pages. It's all going to be like book page theme. Anyway, so whenever I know who I got the idea from, I will include that in the description box of that particular video. Unfortunately, a lot of times I watch videos and I don't really, like write things down or anything, so I'm not sure where I got some of the ideas they'll have, and some of the ideas will just be mine. But anyway, so I'll try as much as I can to post the original videos where I got the ideas. So I'm going to set this aside because what I want to work on first is the books, the pages. So I have a bunch of books that I got from the Dollar Tree, including this one. This one is recipes. These have a lot of pages that I want to use in junk journals, but they also have pages that I don't really think that would work that great in a junk journal. So they'll work super for what Pam was doing. So I'm going to use those, and I thought that it would be cute to have some recipes as well, not the colored pictures because we're just going for black and white and things with words on them. So first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and tear out some pages to use. That's not a very big cover, so I'm not going to use a ton. Wow, this is thick paper. And then we'll get those papers ready, and in another video we'll start putting the cover together. But first of all, let's just go ahead and choose some pages. I think that's probably enough from the recipe books. I don't even know that I need all these books, but okay, like here's the table of contents. That would be kind of fun to include. And hey, how about a copyright page? That's good. And see, I don't want something where the writing is so far apart like this. I want it to be pretty close together. And let's go ahead and do this. That probably is going to give me enough pages. And look at this. The pages are already coming out. So that's going to leave me with this cover that I'll be able to use pretty soon too, without even having to do much about it. So, and then I also have like all this coffee dyed lace that I think will work really well on it, as well as I just recently got a bunch of cotton lace, and I'll try to remember to link these ones in the description. These are, well, I could link the laces, but they were white. Just know that they were white, and then I coffee dyed them. Okay, so, and then I don't know what else I'll be using, so that's it for now. Okay, so what I want is my ruler. In order to tear paper really well, you need a thin ruler. That's what works the best. So I'm going to go ahead and use this to tear these pages, and I'm not trying to get them perfect or anything. I just want to get it so that I've gotten rid of the margins, because I don't want a whole bunch of white on there. I just want like printed pages. And save those papers because you can always use those in other parts of the book or in other projects. So never throw those scraps away. You can use them for something. Okay, even these little pieces, they're being torn here. Okay, so see how this one just like tore really jagged? That's actually really cool. It's going to look really good when I put some ink on it. Okay, and let's get the copyright page would be really interesting to have. I'm not going to use these pages whole either. I'm going to be tearing them into smaller pieces as well, especially for such a small journal. I don't want to use really big pieces. So here we've got this. I'm going to get some of the writing over here because it's just too hard to grab. You want to hold the ruler down really tight, because see where it's torn in like this? That's because I wasn't holding it down really tight. And it's okay, because that'll just make for some interesting shapes, but you probably don't want that on all your pages. And just so that you know for the future, if you want to be able to tear something fairly straight, hold the ruler down where you're tearing. Okay, I'm not really sure if the table of contents is going to have enough writing or not, but we'll see. It might not. Okay. I have a bunch of books to use, and you know, I get them because they have interesting pictures or something in them, but then you're left with all these pages that you really aren't interested in using, and this is a great way to use it up. I think Pam was trying to use up some of the scraps on her desk. That's probably what was happening, and she has some great ideas and everything, so I really, ooh, that's pretty, isn't it? So I really recommend that you check out her channel. I'll have a link to that in the description. Okay, one more page to tear up, and then we'll get started fixing these and getting them ready. These pages from the cookbook are really, really thick. Okay, I'm going to hold on to some of those that have the large type too. I think there was another one here. Yeah, a couple of these have some large type, because it might be interesting to have some larger type in there, and I'll just trim off the parts that I don't want. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to ink these up, and I'm going to use, you know, I think I'm actually going to use all these different colors, probably not the pink. I don't think I'm going to use the pink, but I have several different colors of, you know, shades of brown and stuff. So let's use that so that there's some variety. I'm not sure that that color is going to do much, but let's try it and see. Okay, so this one is Antique Linen, and these are all Tim Holtz. Okay, so let's see if that does anything on it at all. Oh, this doesn't have a pad, that's why. I'm using these candles that have Velcro on it, and then you add a pad to it. That way you can change colors without having 5 million of these things. Okay, so let's get some ink on this and see if that shows up, or if I'm going to skip that. Yeah, I don't really think the linen, the antique linen, shows up too much. So let's go into the next color here, and this is, well, that's Vintage Photo. Okay, that's what I use most of the time, except that I have a big thing of it. But we'll use it here. You could actually take these off and just use this to ink it like this, but I feel like I have more control when I use my stamper thing here. Okay, so I'm just going to go around the edges right now, and then I'll tear them up into smaller pieces. But it's easier to ink these bigger pieces. See how cool that looks when you've got it all ragged? And I actually have some rulers, some tearing rulers that I got recently that I haven't even opened up or tried yet, that actually intentionally give you those ragged tears, and they're very cool. So let's use some more Vintage Photo here, and then we're going to tear some of these into smaller pieces to use. Okay, so I hope you guys are all doing well. I've been working on a blue and green journal, and I just found it today. So I'll be working on ephemera next. I finished all the pages, and I just need to do ephemera, but I'm really excited about that journal. Okay, so since I want to use the Vintage Photo on these, I'm going to go ahead and put them into smaller pieces. I don't really want all this white here at the bottom, so let's go ahead and cut this like this and here, and that'll make a great piece for frankenpaper. Okay, so what I'm just doing, if you're not familiar with doing this, is just rubbing this along the edge so that it just makes it look like the edges are kind of yellowed. Okay. And I'll be overlapping these on the cover. I'm probably going to use this on the inside and the outside. I think she used something else on the inside of her cover, but since mine's so small, and this is really the technique that I want to try out, I just thought that it would make more sense to do it on the inside as well, so that I can really have it on both parts. Okay, and then this. I think that's enough of the cookbook pages, or else it's going to end up being all cookbook pages because it's so small. So let's work on table of contents. Okay, so this isn't as stiff, so it's a little bit harder. So what I do is I use my thumb to kind of push in there without bending it, but it's okay because you're trying to make it look old. So it's okay if it does get bent or wrinkled or something. That's totally okay. But see, I like the idea of having different sizes of print. I think that she was doing hers from all one book, so it was all the same type, style, and everything, which is totally fine. I just thought that I would like mine to have some different type styles in them. Okay. And different colors of pages. See how these are a little bit different from each other? Okay. And then I'm not sure that I'll use this one because it's mostly dots, but we'll put it in there just in case. Okay, I might use it like on the bottom or something. I'm just going to use Vintage Photo, I guess, for all of these. Okay, I think I'll tear this right here. Set that aside. I might end up using those for the inside or something. I just think this just looked so cool when she did it. So today what I'm going to do is just get these papers ready, and then we'll start applying them and doing the scoring on the cover. And the next one, I think I need a little bit more. Okay. So here we go. And like I said, I'm making this on a I'm going to make it a really small journal, but you can make it whatever size you want. I think Pam said that hers was actually bigger than what she usually does. So, and hers looked really nice. So I think this technique works great for pretty much any size. Alright, so here we go. I'm almost done. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in my next video in the series. It may not be tomorrow, I'm not sure. But my next video we will work on making the cover. Okay? Alright, I love you all, and I will see you next time. Here's our nice little stack of papers. Alright, I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.